or disorder.
Almost there. Yeah, there.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Maggie.
Hello.
Hey, Maggie.
Hi there.
Maggie.
I would like to call the meeting to order and to ask for a motion to approve the minutes from June or have any changes to the minutes,
I just had a question,
please.
because it says that DJ was absent, but you also submitted them.
Yes,
Okay.
I came back
That's
over,
fine.
it records, I came back over again and saying,
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, a motion, please.
I need to look at the minutes.
Well, thank you. May I hear a second? Thank you. All in favor? Excellent. Very good. Let's go on for this great moment of celebration. There's nothing, there's no confetti.
No confetti.
The final report on the public art policy is Jennifer on?
Jennifer's not here. Her
So-
last day was
Oh, that's
9.
right. Oh.
So our esteemed,
we can post one, huh?
our esteemed director will give us the final report.
Well, basically, as everyone knows, laws and rules passed unanimously with, glee. And then with the Common Council, I don't know if anybody got to see that meeting, but they had a stack of, resolutions to pass and what have you. And, I think that probably what really helped them move this so fast is that I spent time with everybody.
Yeah.
So, they were not expected to read 100 pages of what, was put in front of them. We had Sarah Passy here as well as advisor who is active. Rennie is our advisor. But, I met with everyone. They got it. They're in. Just kudos again to Jennifer because the last week she has been really, making any changes that anybody requested, gave us all the final documents. The mayor has called a meeting with staff. Any staff that's either affected by the public art policy or might be affected when the Arts and Cultural Affairs Department and the Commission embark upon any endeavors. So that meeting will be coming up in a week and a half. And Jennifer has written a great letter to the staff about, just so they don't have to read 100 pages, about, where this affects them. The mayor, as you know, this is probably setting a model for the nation, but the mayor had asked for a committee, a staff committee that would actually work with the new and permanent public art committee and the commission on anything that they are involved with.
Great.
So those are the integral staff, like Elisa Tinty, who, she needs to know what's going on in this building. Sue Cahill, of course, health and wellness, of course, grants management. Bartek, who's working on 615 Broadway, so that meeting will occur in about a week and a half. I'll report back. But Sarah Passy also cannot make that meeting because she's so busy with 20,000 projects, but she's also written something up for the staff on this to make it
Yes,
easier
that's
for them
great.
to pour through. So I'm really glad that that's the first step. And of course, as we know, the next step is the survey, the citywide survey. Thanks to the commission and the public art committee for your input on the short and long of the survey. It is now up on Engage Kingston. The press release went out this week announcing the passing. I was kind of disappointed, but we always are with the comments on the Daily Freeman's Facebook post. Very sarcastic.
I mean, like, when are we going to have public art in the city of
I
Kingston?
don't know. I just, sometimes I just have to blank it out. Because, it just feels like there's some people who thinks that, it's their job to,
That's what,
post something negative about everything good that's going on.
Right.
And one of the comments, and I must say this, but one of the comments was, oh, yeah, we're focused on art when no paving is going on in the city streets, which we know every time we drive.
I don't have time to say that.
It's sort of a form of art.
You cannot get down this street, that street, this is blocked, that's blocked, I mean, it's.
I was thinking, how did they find all of this equipment? You know?
It's, we got a lot going on, there's a lot of good things going on here in Kingston. So,
goodness.
they were not good comments at all, but, from, what I've received, the calls that are coming in and everything, people are really excited, that we do finally have a policy. A lot of people have been asking, does this have anything to do with the murals?
That's what everyone wants to know.
And I keep telling everybody, no, it doesn't. This is for, public, sites, public property, public art, to take care of it. And as we move forward with public art projects, we're going to, ask for the city's voice. And I can't wait. Margie Menard met with me last week and it has printed out the surveys already. I guess she's going to table at the Celebration of the Arts, and she's gonna ask people to either fill it out or take 2 minutes on her tablet. And then she's gonna move around because the library tables. And she's just wondering what else, the library can get involved with.
Oh,
Cool.
I'm gonna, the mayor is taking the surveys to 2 of his, what do you call them? The mayor's,
the chatting with the neighborhoods.
Yeah, chatting.
Yeah.
so there's 2 boards that he's going out to this month, so he's gonna take the survey with him and encourage people. We have a concert Saturday, we moved that concert into, City Hall here.
Oh, really? Where's it gonna be
It's
here?
gonna be right here in the council chambers. I'll get to that in a second.
Nice.
But, a lot of the events that I host, the art walk, we have a lot of things going on. Can I ask you a question, Commissioner Wilson?
Me?
Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner Wilson has offered her interns, when, would you need all of the paper copies for the interns to tabulate? When's our cutoff?
Oh, so they're here until the last week in August.
Okay,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
okay.
But then we do have, some, we haven't hired them yet, but we do have office workers, student office workers during the school year as well.
During the school year. So
If it goes on longer.
if we say maybe the cutoff can be like the end of October,
Yeah,
so we get a good,
yeah, absolutely.
okay, great, then I will do that.
Were there any significant remarks or changes from the Common Council?
Not at all. One, just saw 2 names missing, from the, common council members that was added. And, no, they were, but again, I met with them, each one of them
Yeah,
twice.
increase.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah,
I just want to make a comment, because I think that doing this art policy has gone far beyond just doing a public art policy. I think it's, for me, what I've always hoped for. It gave a real central thing for for not just the arts and culture department to center, to give it strength and real purpose, that's the wrong word, accomplishment, I mean, a major accomplishment that we worked on for years that never really gelled, for any number of reasons, but it also seems to be a kind of uniting force,
Yeah.
a factor within the city itself. And it's the arts and culture department that's in the center of that.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is something we really need to recognize, how important something like this is beyond its own immediate objectives. And how it'll lead to, even the leading to public art in private places will also lead to reaching out into communities in ways that we've never had. It becomes the tool. Everything needs to be a tool. So you've heard me say this many times, but anyway, I just wanted to say how happy I was with this and why.
well, what I've reported to the mayor though was the dedication of the members of the Public Art Committee. Many of the Arts Commission members were a part of making every single meeting, reading every single, segment of the documents, giving incredible input. But I also want to give, some kudos to the common council members that sat with me.
Yeah.
Because they were not sitting there just saying, okay, what do you want? They were sitting there listening and saying, well, this affects my ward, and my ward doesn't have this, and my ward doesn't have this, and we don't have a park. So how does this, and where would, I think was, I forgot which ward this is, but the historic district, we have a little teeny weeny Peace Park. And that's it. Other than that, we don't have any presence there. We also have the, and I'm gonna close with this, but everybody, had asked, not everybody, but many souls had asked me about the Academy Green statues. What are you gonna do about that? It's like, I'm not doing
You mean the
anything.
racist anti-Semites?
Yeah.
Those guys?
All the good things. Stuyvesant, yes. Jennifer, with all her good work and her assistant's work, all this time, because they're sitting on city property at Academy Green, we're thinking that the statues belong to the city of Kingston, but one of her assistants said, I don't think so.
Oh, really?
No, I think it might have been gifted to the county, not the city of Kingston.
Wow. And what about the Academy Green Committee?
Okay, well,
That
we have to.
hovers over
We'll have
all this
to, we'll
stuff.
have to see.
We met with them.
Yes, they were not a pleasant group.
No.
Well, we'll have to see, but the conversation, I'm glad that, the, county is working on an arts and cultural affairs, arts and culture master plan. Because this came up during our creation of our policy. Of course, SUNY, with the coming of the Sojourner Truth statute to, the Dr. Wheeler's decision to bring her here. And then us working with Anna, Wayne, and the bunch, because they have, resurrected their public art commission on SUNY. And then, of course, we're working on an arts and culture master plan for Ulster County. So what I brought up was, these statues may not belong to us, they may belong to the county. And the poorhouse statues that the county did commission, that Trina Green's work, the poorhouse that sits outside of the Ulster County Fairgrounds.
Oh.
That statue was installed in 2019, commissioned by Ulster County, and already in very bad shape. It takes waxing once a year, but now the work that it would take to get the gunk off of it is going to be very expensive. So of course, in us doing this work, it's bringing to light that, because Sarah Passy had said, I didn't know that the county had an art collection. I said, you know what, there's probably people here in the city of Kingston who doesn't know that the city of Kingston has an arts collection either, but there must be. I have some people coming over because since we did this announcement, they want to look at the Works Progress Administration holdings. A lot of researchers want to, come through and look at that, talk about it. So, it did raise a lot of awareness.
Are the catalogs still available for the collection?
Yes.
Because if people don't know about them, they're worth seeing.
I think we need to put it, I think we need to, and I don't know as much as Sue Cahill does, but I think perhaps we should probably try and look at that, and I don't know what our responsibility is.
For the city's WPA collection that mainly sits in the city engineer's office.
Oh.
And it's very, very interesting.
It's a published document.
Yeah. I remember, I had it so many years ago, I can't remember
The work
who
that
gave it to me.
the SUNY New Paltz students did.
I think,
Yeah.
but it's an actual booklet and it's worth taking a look. So do you think you can get your hands on them for the rest of the
Sue
commission?
Cahill has been bringing me whatever she finds. So I have, these documents, so.
display.
No.
Yeah. But the weird thing is they're in the office, so you have to have business. They have to have business to go into the office, why would you,
Dropped?
Yeah, any loans? Okay, just now. Did anybody come in? No, okay, good.
No gun.
So anyway, I'll close with that, but congratulations to everyone I'm very appreciative for the committee, the KAC, the common council members who sat with me and gave me input, as well as the organizations that came and sat with me. I want to give kudos to O Positive for coming and spending time with us. Lindsay, Transart, Where Smith spent time with us. Tyrone Wilson, Harambe spent time with us. We kind of moved around the city. It wasn't
Well, that's
just us.
great. That's
Yeah.
great. A diverse, group of
Yeah.
stakeholders.
I have a few questions.
Yes, sir.
Number one, with the citywide survey being moved around, is it going to run into the county survey, which I got an email about?
It's kind of, we're kind of moving in different circles.
Because the county is much bigger, but I'm just wondering how overwhelmed Kingston could be.
No, we're moving in different circles and events and festivals and the mayor's, public, meetings. And some of the county council members have said, please give me some too, because I want, Shabbat moves with his, has his meetings every month, I think. Drew Andrews, Ward 7, he absolutely wants to get Ward 7 engaged. He's eyeballing, Alessandra's concert, August 17th in his district, because that's probably gonna get packed because we're showing Barbie.
Oh.
Yeah, so, we're gonna get a lot of feedback there too. And we have it available in Spanish as well. Another question?
Yeah, I just forgot. Give me a second.
So are we
Oh,
going,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
The Public Art Policy Committee,
Yes.
according to I think the grid that John put up, there were 2 from column A, 2 from column B, 1 from column C. Are they already selected?
No,
Okay.
the mayor will be
Oh, that's true.
working with us on probably starting in the fall. Okay, so for now, it's the commission. And as you notice, especially with the officers, there's things going on with the statute. And I'm only sharing it with the officers right now. Probably, that's the best bet, Ward especially. This is the loan agreement and the other agreements and
It's
things.
all museum stuff.
Yeah, all these things, so I'm just getting technical stuff.
It's museum stuff.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah,
Well, and we have, and Anna is being very, Anna Conlon, the director of the Dworsky, is being involved. And
Oh, good, good.
so, I mean, they know about agreements and
yeah, so.
loan agreements.
But this developed because we were going into this agreement as we were creating this policy, so we were trained to the task, if you will.
Yeah.
So we're still in that mode. Just got the final moment, well, not the final, but the draft from the attorney of Cindy New Paltz. So I sent it to our attorney and board to look over before I get it to our insurance company. So we're kind of wrapping it up. And we'll get to how the unveiling and the programming. Do you have any more?
No,
That's it?
move forward.
Okay.
Would you continue?
Continue with the rest of my report, I'll try to move fast, through some of it, because there's, some questions I have. But I think that we probably might have a couple of work sessions on some of these items that I need input from. As I mentioned before, with the Youth Art Out Loud exhibition, it's extended to October, and there's one offer to buy a work from a student, and that is from Kingston High School, but I'm really having a hard time getting in touch with Amy Purdy, is it? If anybody can help me get in touch with her, because this person wants to give that student a lot of money for this. He's in love with this thing.
Come on.
He's an employee here.
Oh.
And he keeps on coming in my office. Any words yet? I want that. I want that for my wife. And I'm like,
But I'm sure the superintendent's office will answer the phone and you could
yeah, I mean,
get to the students.
it would be great to have,
That's,
a student. I think that, I don't know if anybody else, I don't know what we think. I would love to find out from Kingston High School, if Laura's students have anything left over here. Star Negro from My Kingston Kids, if we could just put it out there to the city staff, that these are available for purchase. Would you like to contribute to the, continuance of these students' new careers? I think that'd be great, but at least there's one on the table right now. This person is really, he keeps on checking in with me.
I think that the best thing is to focus on this person and if that person is so passionate about the work. But I don't know that pushing other the students' work at this point for sale is something to get to.
Okay, very good. I have that last question then. We've had, artwork, art shows before.
Right.
The let's go back to the sanctuary when I wasn't here. What happens with the agreement says that, artists must pick up their work. And if not, within 30 days, if you have not picked it up, what happens?
Who was the advisor for the student show? Was there a faculty advisor?
For the Kingston High School Art Club, it's Amy Purdy, and of course Laura Giordano, who I was just.
So it's there,
Sarah,
it's for them to make sure that the students are contacted and get their work.
or the teachers, because I know.
However, but not to get, for you to, get all involved in that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what happened, because I did have an individual contact me when I started this post, asking for her, what happened to her work. She participated in the sanctuary. And, she said that she never got a notification or something to come get her work, which I know, I saw the notification that went out. I think she went away. So I don't know whatever happened to any works that were left over. They're not upstairs in the attic. So, yeah, so
You did your best.
I did my best.
But I think an official notification to the people who were responsible for having the work here is the most important thing for you to do.
Yeah, I mean, some of the art organizations, they have friends here, and some of them are like, just, whenever we send out that notice, Shaman Negro will be here, immediately and take all of the students down. It's just getting through the high school. I'm gonna go to the Sojourner Tree for Step to Freedom. We're actually now in touch with them. And we have 2 different movers bidding for the job. We will be meeting them over the next week and a half, engineering staff and myself and Sumi over at the warehouse first, and then we're coming over to the foyer to size everything up. There's bluestone on the steps, so it's, they both felt that there's probably no problem with that, but we're just getting all the details done.
Is it huge? Is the statue huge?
600 pounds and 9 feet tall. So the delivery date for the statue is the 23rd.
She's coming in the front door, isn't it?
In the front door, because it's just a few steps.
July or August 20th.
September 23rd will be the delivery date. And she will be covered with just a wrap, if you will. The big question for the commission, and Ruth Ann, who had an idea, is what kind of a veil do we drape her with that morning? Because Ward had mentioned that if we put the veil that's pullable off, a kid's gonna go, so this is gonna stay wrapped in whatever until that morning. And then we are going to veil her with the, veil that will be, draping her for the official unveiling. And I just have questions about what that veil looks like. Ruth Ann said white velvet. Lisa said white silky material that can drape and just kind of, touch upon the silhouette, if you will, of the statue. But they weren't talking to each other, but they both came up with white. I just would like to know what everybody else might think about what that veil looks like.
Anyone have any feelings
We
about this?
know that the statute is First Step to Freedom. It's that brave woman who, got lied to by Dumont. And he reneged on promising her freedom, and the Van Wagonens helped her get out of here. But she came back, and she said, I'm coming for my kid, and you're gonna let me, and I'm leaving, and I'm never coming back to this place. So, when you're looking at that veil, representing this story, and again, Lisa and Ruth Ann came up with what?
You could say she's a local saint.
I would say she's a local saint, general,
So
hero.
I'm just as a justification for the white.
So the idea of the white, especially if it's somewhat diaphanous, you sort of it's like seeing something through the clouds, before it really appears, and so you get almost like a kind of tasting, preview, but and in this case, white seems like almost a neutral color, because it doesn't interfere with the color of it's bronze, right? Yeah, so the color of the bronze, and so you see it, it just, I like the idea of dampness, not velvet, but.
Other folks, yes, sir?
I'm on Google right now. The colors of freedom are blue, green, and white. So we could get any one of those three. I was thinking black liberation flag, red, black, green, and gold. Which might be too much, might be too expensive of material, and probably would be diaphanous. But we could obviously find blue, green, or white in the diaphanous material.
Ladies?
I like diaphanous. I don't know, white. I wouldn't have thought of it, but sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of white either.
I wouldn't have thought of white. I mean, just given how strong she is and such, but if that's, freedom of color, it's probably easier to, get.
They say the reason why blue is one of them is because it's freedom in the sky.
Yeah.
I was thinking, so, but
Yes,
not
I'm
like.
yeah, other than my obvious black power thing, yes, I was thinking.
Okay, let's have a vote.
We gotta pick something.
That's between, we're gonna vote now between blue or white.
How about blue and white?
One going this way, one going this way.
You get to buy the material. Since the Kingston City seal is blue and green and white anyway, so.
How many want white? How many want blue? Wow, okay.
And when we're talking blue, cobalt blue,
Sky
sky
sky blue.
sky blue. Yeah, sky blue.
Sky blue.
Okay. And what kind of material are we envisioning?
It's always gonna be polyester, shiny or dull.
Polyester something.
And Maggie?
Polyester taffeta, polyester.
I don't know. I would like to see it be silk rather than polyester. Silk is a fabric that existed when she did. Polyester did not. So I would just like to see it be silk. Whatever color. I don't care as much about the color as the fabric.
Others? Other folks?
Definitely prefer silk.
Yes.
Okay. I think you now are onto
Okay, and I just
sky
want
blue silk.
okay, thank you for that. I want to welcome Sarah Pasty, who just joined us. Sarah, can you say something so that we can see, if we can hear and see you?
Okay, I'll say hello. Can you hear me say hello?
Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Okay, so let me move, board, on the proposal, there was a description of the statue. I'm working on giving you a little bit more information because you, as the museum guru, have board has graciously offered to work on the signage that will.
I said the first part of the label will be about Sojourner Truth and who she was, and then a brief mention of the artist and her accomplishments underneath, and trying to make it as brief as possible. Give
And
us,
when you have the dimensions, whatever, does that go on that sign or
I
that's?
don't, for something like this, where people are standing right in front of it, I don't think that the dimensions, what may be more important, does the artist want people to know that it was lent by her, or lent by somebody who owns it now?
Soon.
So, lent by Sunni New Paltz, would be, so it'd be important to know specifically who is the official lender of the work.
Okay. Let's see, you are more than everything else. And I'm gonna work over marketing real quick. Brian Mahoney has offered to do a story in September for the September issue. Nancy Giles, who,
Nice.
I don't know if anybody was at the at the unveiling of Trina Green's statue of Young Sojourn Isabella Bonpré in Port Ewing, but Nancy was there.
Oh, really?
Nancy wants to come back for this. She's really excited, but she said, as we know with the news, she doesn't know if this is gonna be September. So if she's not held back by breaking news,
Yeah.
she'll be here.
Oh, that's
And
great.
then we have other supporters as well. So can we get to, and this has to be a separate meeting, but let's just get to the related City Hall exhibition freedom. As we noted before, that call for art has to go out next month. And that's why I'm asking for a separate meeting with any commissioner who would like to be on that committee, so that, you know, you can advise me. I'm hoping for next Friday. Maybe a lunchtime Zoom, board if you're available, so that we can get me underway on that. As we recall with the Kingston revealed, that was more, you know, hitting the ground running or boots on the ground with reaching out to local artists to get the best and the finest artists in Kingston to participate in that, and it was unbelievable. Anybody that's been to my office, it's on loan indefinitely until they say so. And those works were beautiful. It was a beautiful exhibition. So I'm just asking if anybody can make a meeting, a lunchtime meeting. And
There's also, by the way, at that time, there's a meeting for the Ulster Master Plan for the Arts for History Organizations.
oh, yeah, okay, so we'll find a date, but I'll send it around and
And thank you for that, Sarah.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna move real quickly so that we can, get on, but yeah, if we can meet next week sometime on this, or meet by email on this, that'd be lovely. I've announced that the, location for this Saturday's event has moved to the council chambers. I'm trying to reschedule the other ones. The weather's terrible, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't really like scheduling anything outdoors. It could be calling for a beautiful day and then you can see apocalypse move. So, you know, I asked Elisa if I could move inside, and we might have to do that for the next couple of concerts as well. It's just a, you know, maybe August will be time of year, but no telling. So, yeah, Bartek would like to attend if, after, we're done with the agenda and the commission decides that we are meeting in August, then he'd like to attend in August to meet with you, maybe 15, 20 minutes to talk about 615 Broadway.
Great.
And if not, definitely in September, because he said that by September, there'll be lots of developments that he could get the input from the commission on, so that would be.
He's interested in public art, is that what, or what's his?
615 Broadway is the, it's in my report, being developed by Baxter Development Company in consultation with the city to create a sustainable and dynamic mixed-use development on the site. Thank you for this, because the public doesn't know. The project site is less than 1 acre, located in Midtown.
Yeah.
Next to the Ulster Performing Arts Center, and the plan includes residential units, ground floor commercial, and arts-focused businesses, and dedicated public open space for the Pauline Oliveris deep listening plaza. So,
Okay.
he would like to come and spend some time with the commission and get the commission's input. He did have a couple of things going on, and the commission was invited. Board, did you get to go, or Richard, did you get to go?
It was a weekday.
The session in Tilda's, he said it was great.
What was this?
I couldn't, unfortunately.
Okay,
I went to something, but it was about a year ago.
it was Tilda's, the last month.
Yeah.
And then they also had, and I love this method of public outreach, they had a food truck festival.
That's good.
And it was cool.
Way.
Yeah, the DJ, they giveaways, and they, you know, we're talking of this space right here, it's gonna be this, what do you think? And it brought out a lot of people, music and food brought out a lot of people. So that was a cool idea. So, up to you, you can let me know when Bartek can visit, be great to have him.
Yeah, that'd be
And
great.
then perhaps he can report on what's going on with the visitor center downtown as well.
Oh, is there going to be a visitor center downtown?
No, it's gonna be offices. And I
In
think-
the old visitor center
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we did sell it. You know, there was a toss up about whether or not to sell it, but we're closed in this building. People are crammed on top of each other. So I guess the decision was to keep the building.
Not to make it a city office.
It's gonna, but also I'm not sure if it's gonna be shared space, but that's the plan. I also want to announce that the ship replica Lamistad will be coming to the Hudson River Maritime Museum from August the 2nd to August the 7th. I've assisted them in putting together a community day with presenters and, African drummers and what have you.
Love it.
The only drawback about this is that it usually stops in Yonkers and Ossining and Newburgh and Kingston and It's only going to dock in Kingston.
Oh.
So what I asked them is to, give the locals first dibs on making reservations, especially youth groups, camps, education groups, what have you. So they did do some outreach on those groups in the region. And just kind of excited about that.
That's
And
great.
the Hudson River Maritime Museum is also presumably promoting this.
Absolutely. They just put out some early promotions, and this was within 3 weeks' notice. They got the call.
Good.
I guess the Amistad has been going through, since COVID, funding, turnover of shipmates and what have you, and education people, so they've gotten together, but their tour is gonna be very short. So I think that's all I have. And I can turn it over to,
Okay, is it time for us to hear from Sarah Paskey about the Ulster County Arts Plan?
you're muted. Okay.
That's right. Can't hear from me if I'm mute.
Yeah,
But,
I gotta run and get your handouts. I'll be right
yeah,
back.
I was gonna say, because yes, I sent some handouts, since I knew I wasn't gonna be there. I sent hit some handouts to print out to give to you, but I am it's now working for the Ulster County Legislature as sort of a little part-time gig to help them do outreach and coordinate this arts and culture master plan for the county. And I have to say, it's been really interesting so far in that we're having 4 town hall meetings in total, one in New Paltz, which already took place, another one coming up in Ellenville on July 22nd, one in Woodstock on July 23rd, and then a 4th in Kingston on August 27th. So those are in-person ways for people to come together. There are also, I think I heard Ward refer to a history workshop. There are sector workshops that are taking place. There are 8 of those, and they're taking place with different groups of people. The first 2 have already taken place, individual artists and creative businesses. There are going to be more to follow. And the handouts that Kit has will explain when they are, so you can sign up if you're interested. You can go to as many as you want. The town halls, you can also go to as many as you want, though it's the same format in each situation, which is really the consultants trying to tease out from everybody in all these meetings and interviews they're doing, what are some of the great strengths that Ulster County has in terms of the arts and culture? And by that, we mean every form of art and culture, performing arts, visual arts, historical societies, historic homes, anything, that it relates to arts and culture. The local businesses we have, furniture makers, everything.
Sarah, could you give us some of the meetings that have already taken place? Could you give us some examples of some of the discussion briefly?
Yes, there are breakout groups that happen in these meetings where people are talking about the strengths that they see, some of the challenges, some of the things they'd like to see improved and opportunities. It's essentially that strength, weakness, opportunities, threats, that sort of SWOT analysis of the area to see what's going on. And it's been very interesting because people have said in New Paltz, people said, this was so great, that the county brought us together. Can the county keep doing something like that? Can we keep having these sorts of meetings where we get to talk to each other about who has studio space, where, if I'm looking for studio space, where do I go to find it? Can there be some sort of a central hub that the county can have that could help people find each other or find out what's going on? So I think people were just happy to meet each other. that was sort of, one of the main things, but we've heard that people want to see the county provide more transportation, more public transportation so people can get around to events. We've heard one community say, oh, there's, Ellenville, for example, tons of studio space there, but other communities like Kingston, no studio space there. So, you're sort of finding out where the challenges are, where there's some great opportunities, and what the county can do. Of course, everyone wants to see funding for arts organizations and artists. Whether that's possible, we'll see. That's part of what the consultants are going to be figuring out is how do other communities across the country, how do other counties fund their art program? Some of them do it via hotel motel tax percentages, from their fund. Others do a percent for art. What are the models out there that we can use? So they're looking into a lot of that, but just hearing from people has been very interesting. And one of the things that I've heard in both the 2 sector meetings and the town hall meeting is that artists love being here. They feel that it's a very congenial community for artists. People talk to each other, they help each other, they share information. That's one of the great strengths that we've heard is that people really support each other here. And that doesn't always happen in communities. There's less of a sense of competition here and more of a sense of how can we all help each other, which is great. And, they talked about things like one woman just shared that she lived in Chicago and there they had a sort of recycling center where people who had businesses, where they would bring in materials, they'd have all these extra cardboard boxes, which a lot of like small artisanal retailers have. There was a place where they could take their extra boxes so other people could use them. So it was recycling without actually putting them in the recycling bin, but taking it to a place where other people could use that packaging. So they were sharing that. So there ideas like that, are starting to bubble up a little, which has been really nice. So all in all, it's been interesting to hear. And I think we'll hear different things in different communities. So that's sort of because Ulster County is so different. We're going to be going out. We're taking the consultants on site tours also. So in addition to the town hall, there was a site tour of the New Paltz area that took us into Highland and some of the surrounding communities. So they got to see a lot of what's going on, an artist studio, a fabrication workshop in Gardner, and then somebody in Highland who has 10 artist studios that are part of an old horse barn that he rents out to artists, just things that people are doing across the county that are really interesting. So then we're going to go in July. The consultants are here for 2 days. We're going to take them to Ellenville, the whole 209 corridor up to Shandaken, do some tours around Shandaken, and then head east towards Bearsville. So they're getting to see visually what things look like in this county.
When you're in Ellenville, you might want to consider going up the hill to Cragsmore.
Well, I love Cragsmore and we talked about that, but unfortunately, in terms of the amount of time we have, we're not going to be able to make it up there.
Too bad, yeah.
I know, it's too bad.
It is a concentration of artists.
I know.
To mention a knockout view.
And hopefully they'll come down from Cragsmore to the town hall meeting that will be there. And Ellenville's also going through a very interesting change. We've talked to a few people who say there's the people who've been there for decades and a whole new wave of people who have come in.
Yeah.
So we'll see a lot of that.
Are you guys going to the Borscht Belt Museum?
Oh yeah, that's one of yes. There's a Borscht Belt Museum. There'll be a little community conversation there. We're going to some place called the Market Street Studio, operated by an artist named Paul Valinsky and his wife. And it's a large space, so we'll be convening a lot of, holding a public meeting there. So so far it's been interesting.
You're gonna find the same thing in Shandaken. I was doing grants covering for Arts Mid-Hudson.
Yeah.
Out 28, my God, I must have gone to 40 studios, just all up in the woods. And
Yeah.
I was so happy to see that we actually stopped there. And then I ran across 2 of them later in Martha's Vineyard. So just all over the place, these people are just incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah, there's a place called the Pine Hill Community Center, on the way out to Phoenicia. It's fabulous. There are all these little places that we're finding out about. And this is what you hear, you know, because trying to just suss out what's there. You talk to one artist, they'll tell you about 3 places, somebody else tells you another 3 places. So the idea is to really see what's here in the county, and then how can we support what's here? You know, we're also hearing that there's a lack of support for arts education, you know, in a lot of places, which is not surprising. You know, I mean, a lot of these findings are not surprising, but it means that once we have them all together, we can see how to address them. So, and we want to hear from as many people as possible. So if you can, you know, attend the workshops, I can send you, you know, send you social media links. You can send it to friends. You can get people, you know, to just show up and fill out. The other thing that's important, you'll see there's a community participation survey. Their goal is to collect 500 surveys, whether it's, a lot of them will be online, some of them will be in paper, because that is really, how do people participate in the arts in Ulster County? That's going to tell us something about the general public and how they engage with the parks. So we have some people going with flyers and surveys to community events around town. But you, all of you, each one of you should go in and fill out the community participation survey. So, and that's where you sort of, they do their data crunching about who sees what and how do they get there and what are the barriers to participating in the arts, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Thank you very much, Sarah. That's a wonderful presentation. Okay.
I have 2 things to mention. Sarah, first of all, I just want to thank you so much for representing us and for sitting with us at every single meeting and for all the work that you did, you know, in contribution to the public art policy. And what a great album overall. I want to really thank you for this because you're dynamite. The tie-in, this is what was,
Thank you very much. But this is what I love to do, you know, this is it. This is, you know, my field, just like all of you, you know.
Yeah, so when we were presenting to you all, Sarah sitting on the Laws and Rules Committee of the Common Council, one of the members asked about the Ulster County Arts and Culture Master Plans tie-in with Kingston. And can you just touch upon your response to him, to that question?
How will it tie into Kingston?
Yeah, how will it connect or tie in with Kingston's arts,
Well, there was no, I would say that question came up, but it wasn't really answered because it was made clear that the arts and culture plan for Ulster County is still in process.
Okay.
So people were encouraged to come to the Kingston Town Hall meeting and talk about what they think Ulster County, this is what you can help do, what can Ulster County do for the city of Kingston to help further its plan?
And then one more thing that came up during our work on this public art policy was that Jennifer McGregor's assistant dug in and found some papers, we don't know yet, still a mystery, about who actually owns the Academy Green statues. It could very well be Ulster County. And then Trina Green asking about her statue that Ulster County commissioned that sits outside of the Ulster County Fairgrounds. That's in pretty bad shape, and it just, you know, got installed in 2019. So my question we certainly want to continue the investigation on who is responsible and who owns the statues at Academy Green.
We may want to talk to Paul Keller about that because he's on the committee for the Academy Green and is a very prominent lawyer.
Okay, and with that, then how does it get taken care of, or who assumes the controversy over these 3 statues? Wouldn't bother me if the county had to, but in other events though, you had stated, and I wrote this to you and Peter Criswell as well as Eve from Board Consultants, that you weren't aware that the county has a public art collection. So my question is public art going to be a part of this Ulster County master plan?
That's a very good question. Yes, there are some artists who have wanted to make it a part of that, but as far as the collection, I don't know, see, this is you're bringing that up, and I will definitely make note of that and pass that along. Absolutely, to make sure that it gets into the discussion. But does anyone know where, I guess the Ulster County Historical Society would probably have a record of some of the art pieces that that Ulster County owns? I don't know. Do you know, Ward?
Well, the Ulster County Historical Society is a private nonprofit, so not necessarily.
Ah, I see.
I don't know. There's usually one person who's lurking in the background who has the answer to this. I unfortunately don't know who. Oh, you know who you should ask?
No.
Taylor.
Oh, Taylor. Yeah, I'll ask Taylor. Okay.
Because Taylor is more likely to know than anyone else.
Perfect. I'll ask Taylor. But yes, I think that's a good question, and we will definitely, public art will be part of it. And I think that there are certainly enough artists who are advocating for Ulster counties trying to put more public art out there, in the county. So I've heard that from some artists. So we'll see. It's still in the developmental stage. So however much input, your input is valuable.
And my final question is, and I know I sit on the PAC, but it hasn't really been coming up as far as the end goal. Once the county does have an arts and culture master plan for county-wide, is it the goal to establish an Ulster County Arts and Cultural Affairs division for the entire county?
That remains to be seen. That's going to come out of, what I should have said too is also in October, there will be a state of culture presentation that Lord consultants will make. And in that presentation, they'll talk about all their findings, and then they're going to seek feedback from the community on how to prioritize it. Does the county want to have a person? Yeah.
I asked that at the breakout meeting.
Yeah.
The other day.
Folks, I think we should move on, but I want to thank you, Sarah, for the excellent presentation and for responding to our very important questions.
Yes, the answer of I don't know. Yes. Okay, but I want to see. Yeah, I'm going to stay around for the rest of the meeting too.
Great. Okay, let's go on. If you wanted to discuss August 2024 Commission summer break.
Sure, that would be up to you all.
Do we want to have a meeting in August, is what you're saying?
Yeah, because last year, as you recall, we couldn't find a quorum, and then Lisa Tinty told me that most commissions, or the mayor told me that most commissions just go on break because it's August around the world and people just leave. And so as most commissions go on break for August, the Arts and Cultural, the Kingston Arts Commission can opt to take a break as well or keep on.
Any feelings, please?
I'm available in August personally. July's my away month, so.
I'm not available.
Richard?
Yeah, I'm very much interested in having a meeting.
Having a meeting.
Having a meeting, yeah, and because I think there's things that we really need to be discussing.
We're working on September.
Yes,
We're working on a really big show. So.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to me that the most everyone around the table, except for DJ, is available. And so why don't we make the effort to have the meeting, and if by the time the meeting takes place, if we are getting much less than a quorum, we'll cancel it. How about that?
Sounds good.
I mean, can it take place even without a quorum?
It depends on if you and Kit are sitting at the table. I don't know that we can.
Well, it's just, okay, there's.
Well, we just have
It's
quorum say that they're available.
It's August 8th is the date.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we just had a quorum just say they're available, so what we're suggesting is that we go ahead with the plan to meet, and if something happens.
Yeah, it seems like there's a
then
lot of stuff in the hopper right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's things that I.
Will we be
Well,
inviting
actually,
Bartek?
Will we be inviting Martha?
Bartek or saving that? for
Yeah,
September?
Bartek can be here.
Oh, yes, oh, that would be great. Again, even because if we may not be able to get him another time, I don't know.
Well, he wants to, I think this is, the input from the commission is very critical to him and the work that he's doing with
I
Baxter.
think it'd be
So
great.
he might want to come to both.
And to think that we'd be having a famous composer Oh, is that our talk?
That was terrible.
It was cheap, wasn't it?
I appreciated it.
So let's just say that we'll do it. I'll invite Bartek and, you know, he's got a whole lot of stuff on his plate, so I don't think he'll cry in his soup if it has to get canceled and postponed until September, his appearance.
Okay, let's go on. Wonderful.
Can we also, while we're doing that, Richard, you had just said that, you had, because basically, I would just like to, say that if anybody has any, items they would like to request to be put on the agenda, I think the protocol is to ask the officers, as, you know, DJ will confer with the chair and the vice chair. So,
Just please get it to me by the 1st of August, because I won't be around.
So
By
email
August
me, is
1st,
what you're
it's
saying.
on your mind, so I can agendize it.
Yeah,
Pass it on to Warden.
I will, so I'll email you.
Perfect.
Okay.
yeah.
Or smoke some.
What did you say?
We're sending smoke signals.
Oh. Sorry, you have to realize my hearing is terrible, and one of my hearing aids isn't working right now.
I got your back.
Okay, let's go on. We have some questions.
Can I ask, because, your question to, okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I asked that the Pauline Oliveras Memorial be put on just to see where we are. I know that Bartek is considering this, but I didn't know if there was any kind of behind the scenes discussion, because this is a very, very important thing for Kingston.
Okay, I'd like to know about those discussions, because I know that this has been on the table for a while, a sort of a memorial. Yes, there is 615 and the set aside of something arts related in that area, but are you talking about a specific memorial?
Well, I think what we did initially was considered a memorial, at the plaque, the bench, the space. And it was a very moving thing. Ione was extremely pleased with what was done. And the issue now is, how does the city continue to pay homage to one of the great avant-garde composers in United States history?
The world.
And
I'd like to say.
a really important woman.
Well, I just want to say, I was involved in that to some extent because Mad was involved. As my memory is that it was, what's there was meant to sort of be transitional to something more.
I don't remember that, and I presided.
Okay, I didn't, you were there, right, okay, yeah, I thought.
And the mayor actually
No,
spoke?
I'm sorry, I'm talking about some of the planning meetings though for it, was with that there was, that this was a first step.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but
Yeah,
if that's the case, I just remember how happy Ione was at when it was done, that it was so important for so many of us that this was on Broadway in essentially the center of town, and that she was being honored. So I think I'm just curious and concerned about what the future will be of something that pays the same or better attention.
And this, with the past discussions were actually a project, because wasn't there the mention of a Mellon Foundation grant for some kind of memorial?
I don't remember.
That's when I first got here.
Yeah,
And that was, I know Susan Lynn was working on something, Ann Bailey spent a lot of time.
I was tangential because I actually wasn't, I wasn't on the commission at the time, but there was something. Harambe was also interested in going for the Mellon grant, I think, and
Yeah, but
it was
that's
at the same time.
separate, but this was
You're right.
for.
But this was for like a building, they were looking at that spot.
Yeah, well, there was a dream of having the old Marine Midland Bank, which is the bank on the corner of Broadway and used to be a bank.
Henry.
Yeah,
Henry.
Henry. for a multi-arts center, which would have been wonderful, had been, named in honor, in memory of Pauline, but that never happened. That never even got close to being discussed.
But the idea was that instead of a piece of art, that it would be because I think the Mellon Foundation was talking about a monument, and the talk was that the building itself would be a monument.
Well, there's nothing about Pauline's legacy that requires a monument. A space would be a more appropriate tribute.
I think we should really have something prepared to suggest to Baxter. Because that's why they're listening about what that space looks like. And you just mentioned bench. Is it garden? Is it trees? What?
I think that they can have Lisa help us with having a discussion with IO now would be very, very good.
Yeah.
So could you be in touch with Lisa to see what she's thinking? How I haven't seen IO in a long time, so I don't know. If she's
Including your group, like a committee
Maggie's
or
raising
something,
her hand.
to talk about.
Yeah, but first, just to have her input is important. Maggie?
Yeah, no, the thing that I was struck by is, she was all about listening,
Yeah,
the listening space. So whatever is created needs to be a space in which people, it's not so much a monument as
Right.
a space in which listening can occur.
But also.
And that was the discussion also.
But as there has been something that explains her.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to invite Ione to the next meeting
I
as
think
well?
let's start with Lisa.
Start with Lisa? Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
text her.
We'll see. I mean, I'd love to see Ione, but I just think this.
Yeah.
Yeah, start with Lisa.
But yeah, if Bartek is coming for this next meeting and probably the next few meetings,
Right.
it'd be great if you could, I think that's why they're listening. Back
Yeah,
there,
that's the moment.
the agreement that they have with the mayor and Bartek is that they're going to listen
Yeah.
about that space and how sacred that space is to,
You got it.
Mitchell, and they have money.
And it's so
You
unusual.
saw the original rendering of that. One time I saw, I think in the original, there was this orb.
Oh.
And it looked really like I was walking into and I don't know if I also saw, some sort of a water, but, it looked really beautiful. And then I saw steps that looked like concerts were going on there. That was Baxter's original.
That
I'm gonna
sounds
resend it to you.
okay.
Because I think that that's why they were selected. I was on that committee as well. And of course, I was blinded by Sue Cahill and the mayor pounding questions at them and speaking another language. I'm like, I'm impressed. And then Bartek was, but they, out of all of the bidders, really, really felt it. And I felt it. Remember, I think I sent you, I'm gonna resend it. But it just, that picture, you felt Pauline's presence. They really, it looked like concerts need to go on there. It looked like that's a space where you can see, all kinds of things going on. But the artwork or some kind of sculpture that I saw was pretty amazing. So how about we look at that? I just asked Lisa to, I just sent the message to Lisa, your question. And then we'll keep this on the agenda.
Good. This is an important tribute to.
And maybe work offline on it too, because this is kind of moving fast.
Okay, thank you. Is there any old business?
Well, there's still Ruth Ann. Ruth Ann sent an update on the sculpture. It's pretty long. Ruth Ann went out.
She's ill, right?
Oh, she's feeling much better. But she just got this to us today. Shall I read it out loud real quick?
No.
Okay. She wanted the public to know some of this. The contract between the sculptor Richard Scher and the city was executed 2 weeks ago. He's completing final designs. Following approval, it's scheduled to be completed by December. It'll remain at the plant outdoors and allow for oxidation until 25. This is definitely moving forward.
Will will weigh approximately 600 pounds and stand 4 feet 9 inches high above the 3-foot high cement pedestal. Very good. Cement will be coated, protective spray, excellent. And the coating must be applied annually, which is a very smart thing. Let's see if it happens.
Yeah.
Maggie's having trouble hearing you.
And the, it doesn't, that sounds like it. So the question, how, I think my question would be, how close to the presentation initially that the artist made about what his work would be, will the final work actually be?
And she sent a picture, and I guess it's pretty close to what he presented to you.
Yeah, that's what it, I mean, it barely, yeah, I can barely see it, but, it looks more or less like it did before. And I think that and 4 feet 9 inches high. Does anyone have any comments or questions about?
I just have a question. I just saw that another important factor is that the funds have to be obligated in the next month. Just if there's like cost associated with each of the items, is that clear already? And ready to roll, because obligating is like super concrete.
And this is from, I think, ARPA funds.
So will the funds be obligated, and are there funds, are there items that members of the commission think should be considered for the funding beyond the fabrication and installation that you would want to suggest?
You mean beyond what's listed here?
Yeah,
Doesn't that come under Emily's purview?
I don't know, just asking in case.
Should help.
Well, this is overall the park project, and I understand that other funding is going into that project as well, so that might help, but I don't really, I mean, if you all want to invite Emily to also, give an update, Mel, on whatever's going on, is outside of,
So you're saying that funding is gonna come both from,
I don't know,
oh, you don't know?
yeah, I expect it to be.
So we kind of need Ruth Ann and Emily to solidify the funding question.
Yeah, if you want to just note that, and then just ask Roseanne to update everyone, because she's really, I mean, you look at the precision.
Yeah.
Just people are feeling by
Yeah,
it.
that's what she does, when she's not.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I do hope they do the spray coating though.
Yeah.
It's like a green and green, you know, it's like a little bit of prevention.
Well, I just, during the meeting, didn't it say it required very low to no maintenance or something like that?
Well, the fact that it's kind of shiny helps.
In this case, yeah.
I know we got wax from that book that melted today.
Yeah, we do.
It was hilarious.
So any other comments or concerns about the sculpture?
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Okay, well, that is good. Any announcements that anyone has?
What's going on with Rear? Are they gonna do the festival on the, this year?
As far as I know, I haven't heard any comments about an outdoor festival.
They didn't do an outdoor festival, I was
I
trying to
think
help
it's
with
been
that.
done for a couple of years. That
Yeah.
there's been, that it's, and art is also not a great time for staffing. There's not a director. They're now going to be searching for,
Is it trans?
no, the Rear Center.
Oh, the Rear Center.
They're going to be searching for a new director,
Oh.
working on the job description. If you know of people who you think would be interested, I can pass on your recommendations to our chair, Joe Amarada.
Is this full-time?
Yeah.
Full-time, so
You
you have
answer the question. You have to ask the same thing.
It's a full-time job.
And is it mainly educational? Is that?
There is a person who is the education and outreach person. No, it's really, it's all of what a historic site museum would be.
Okay.
So it's being concerned with the building, exhibitions, education programs, outreach, etc. And there was just a major retreat that happened with the board, and then the staff joined. And if you've been down there, you see it's looking very crazy right now. It's covered in scaffolding.
Yeah.
They're working on the roof. And when the roof is finished and and there will be no problem with leakage, etc., the family apartments
Apartments too.
will be done, which I think helps.
Tenement museum.
And yeah, that's so
Yeah.
important. It helps
Yeah, that's.
tell such an important story. The fact that they had their 3 daughters and their beds were in one room. That's
Yeah.
like talk about struggling, working class people who happen to own a bakery. So that is proceeding. It was with state funding that the roof was able to be done. I think a certain private foundation may have had a part in it as well. I think we know who that is. So that's the story.
Well, I was excited to help. I think, was it last year or the year before, and you were gonna do something in the street?
Yeah,
And then I got a call that wasn't gonna happen, but,
I think there isn't the staff
okay, well,
to do
as
that
they,
anymore.
regroup,
Yeah.
be glad to come back and
Great,
see if we
tell
can
them.
help on festivals and events.
Tell
and
them, okay.
bringing awareness to that amazing story.
I have a strange announcement. I went to this afternoon to meet Ann and Jim Bailey, because we were going to hear a presentation by Arlene Sheckett about her current major exhibition at Storm King. And for those of you who don't know Arlene Sheckett, she is, I consider, the most prominent sculptor working in the city of Kingston, and one of the most prominent sculptors working in the United States right now, who is totally unknown to the city of Kingston. And so what happened, it said on the invitation 2 o'clock. What we discovered was that 2 o'clock was when you could enter. The presentation wasn't until 4. But I said to Anne, the Baileys sponsored a presentation by the Kimber's person, Lugo, the great ceramist.
Yeah,
Roberto Lugo, and it was in the Common Council chambers, and it was a great attendance for that. People were so excited. I'm thinking, why not do the same thing for Arlene Sheckett? I mean, Kingston's most important and least known. Her studio is next to Bailey Pottery.
No, it isn't.
Well, it used to be.
It's next to RNF.
Oh, it's not.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to leave now.
I wrote a letter in support of her putting up her big wall.
The Great Wall of Schechet. And so I suggested to Anne that she talk to you, Kit.
Please, yeah, I was blown away when I got the preliminary.
The pieces are knockouts.
Oh, great.
When is the,
She's now.
It's happening now?
Now.
Oh.
It's outside and inside. Major selection inside, and then there's
Is it up for
real.
a while?
It should be at least till the end of August, but check it out.
Gotta go.
And that's story worthy. I should, you know what, I remember when she was pitching to get that site.
Yeah.
And me and Ann Bailey went in and I said, this is huge. And now that she's moved into Kingston, she needs a story. Somebody needs to run the story. Bailey Freeman, Chronogram, somebody needs to run the story. She belongs to us now.
Yeah, but artists like her don't want.
They don't want to,
We don't want a story.
Okay.
That's why I don't know if Anne, it talks to her, if she would still want to do it, but I think why not try? Because many of us would be so
Yeah,
excited.
she might be into a presentation.
She looks in bronze.
Because she could throw some.
Is she looking bronze or?
She works in metal, but she also works in ceramic. And she does a very unusual glaze, which looks like little tiny dots, thousands and thousands of dots in unusual colors that I wasn't ready for. And Anne, of course, knew exactly what it took to do this surface. But the metal pieces are interesting because they have great, the way she's manipulated them, has had the metal manipulated, is one thing, but also the very bright colors and that she uses. And, you know, one of the pieces I said, and I mean this in the most respectful way, those look like girl colors. And it's like, she can do it, why not? Take it, you know?
Yes, why not?
So, but it's worth seeing, and I recommend it. It's parking lot hell right now at Storm King. They're doing some kind of construction. So on that note, may I hear a proposal to end the meeting?
I assume.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you all very much.